Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1917 Royal 10 antique desktop typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top here is the adjustable paper guide, and this moves from side to side and it swivels. The later models have one that just goes from side to side and it doesn't swivel, so that's unique with this model. Very old model. This, I believe, was the third or fourth design of this Royal 10. Well, you had the Royal 1 and then the Royal 10, and then the one before this had just two openings with no glass. So I believe this is the third one, and the one before this had no glass but the openings, and they had pinstripes on the side. Margins are located behind this flip panel, and you just push it down like this and move them. I like to have it around 0 and 70, so that's about the length of a page. And there's a scale back there to tell you exactly what space you're on. This is the paper bale that sits on top, also has a scale on it. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 2, or 3. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, you just flip the switch 1 notch to the front, skips 2, 1 more, skips 3. That works good. We're going to keep it on single and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type it says on the next line. Absolutely beautiful. Over 100 years old. The ultimate classic typewriter here. Still works. All functions work great. It's beautiful. Just shiny, glossy. It's got the glass panels. The unique design of this model was those glass panels. And this was cutting edge technology during this time, 1917. To pull the page out easy, just flip the switch on the right side here to the front and unlocks the rollers underneath the plot, allowing you to pull the page out easy or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. A shift on each side and the shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the top left of the keyboard. That works good. Above that is your ribbon reverse control. Right now all the brand new ribbon is loaded on the left, so it's pulling to the right counterclockwise from underneath. If you want to switch that direction, you just flip it to the left side there, and it'll pull clockwise from underneath on this side as well. That works good. Margin release on the right side of this upper panel, and when you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from typing, so you just hit that margin release and it'll allow you to type past that block. That works good. This is your upper and lower ribbon color selector. So it says upper right here, which means you print the upper half of the ribbon. If you switch it to the left, you print the lower portion of the ribbon, which when you have a dual ribbon, there's red on the bottom and black on the top. So when you flip it to the left, the vibrator, which is what holds the ribbon right there, basically like a cursor, that just goes up higher. So you put it in the middle, it just doesn't go up as high. You go all the way to the right, you have to unlock it with this by pushing this to the left. It won't print anything at all, basically, so you can save ink when you're making copy paper. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I read a little bit about that. You could just make indentions on the page and it still copies it, and you can save ink when you're doing that. Tab key on the top right. So these are the tabs back here. You can just pull them out, and there's 6 of them, and there's a scale on that too to tell you exactly what space you're on. And when you hit the tab button, it just stops at each one of those inserts. That works good. And what do we have? Carriage release on each side here. That works good. And the back side of the typewriter is your bell right here. And what happens is the margin on the right will contact that and then ding it when you get to the end. And carriage release on the left works good. And this button right here, if you push it in, it disables the spacing, so you can get to an exact spot on the page. When you turn it without that, you get those clicks. Each one of those clicks is 1 space. And that's about it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.